Many in the Avatar fandom are quite mixed on Raava and Vaatu. Some say their introduction brought a much needed change of pace to a lackluster storyline, citing how the pacing of a conflict had grown stagnant. Others say that they are an unnecessary introduction to the nature of the Avatar in the season and completely shift the tone of the story. I sit in this camp. Despite the season being called Spirits, it really doesn't set up a conflict with the spirit themselves. Sure, there are spirits rampaging around the South Pole, but the fight scenes in and of themselves aren't building a storyline. The main conflict that's driving the plot of the first half of the season is the Water Tribe Civil War. After all, it is Unalaq who chose to occupy the South Pole. It is the Southern Water Tribe who's organizing open resistance against Unalaq. The conflict with the spirits is such a tangential issue that spirit bending, the healing technique Unalaq uses, isn't even taught to Korra on screen. Let's compare that to the original series where Aang was basically beaten into mastering even the most basic earthbending techniques. I'm just saying, if it is vital to your story's themes and plots, then it's best not to teach it off screen. Then there's the problem of Raava and Vaatu on a representational level. They're meant to represent yin and yang. If you invert the colors, you will find that they are perfect mirrors of each other. But this show takes a Star Wars approach to light and darkness. Light is good and must win out, darkness is bad and must be suppressed. Raava is the spirit of light and peace who must be preserved at all cost. Or else all hope dies. Vaatu is the spirit of darkness and chaos who must be kept completely under control, and just to rub it in, Vaatu intends to destroy the entire material world. So there is no discussion about the necessity of chaos, how too much light burns everyone, or how peace can just easily turn into quiet and make issues go completely unresolved. No? Apparently Vaatu isn't necessary and is just a leech on creation. Also, white is masculine and black is feminine in Taoism. It is not the case in this show. What probably bothers me the most about these two is the implication for the Avatar as a concept. Prior to Raava being the sole source of the Avatar state's power, we had a much more interesting setup. The power of the Avatar state drew from very human experiences and the lives of multiple past avatars, as Roku led us to believe. And it shifted to Raava granting a power boost. That's just dull. Okay, you stripped away the human experiences, wisdom, and mistakes in favor of a battery made out of a flatworm made out of light. Avatar The Last Airbender made the god of the setting, yes, the Avatar is a god, feel both truly human and truly divine. In contrast, The Legend of Korra bifurcated the nature of the god of the setting, solely human and solely divine in a loosely defined union. And while Raava is allowed to be wrong as she was with the humans, it's not as interesting to see Raava be wrong as it is the very human mistakes the avatars make. Roku was hesitant to stop the ambitions because he was an old friend of Sozin's. Kyoshi founded the Dai Li thinking that they were a good security measure. Kuruk slacked off on his avatar duties, and he also didn't, but that's a discussion for another time. Yang Chen favored the humans when it came to human spirit affairs. What's funny about this is that we could have had a mildly interesting bit about her natures being in conflict with one another. Her human nature says the occupation of the Southern Water Tribe by her uncle is wrong, but her nature as the Avatar says the rampaging spirits have gone mad at their homes being desecrated and should take some priority because she is the Avatar for the spirits as well as the bridge between humans and spirits. But we had to take the easy way out with the whole Raava Vaatu dynamic by making Vaatu turn the spirits evil and dark. That's uninteresting can actually be said for a lot of the spirit dynamics in The Legend of Korra. Instead of having both light and darkness, light must prevail and darkness must always be suppressed. They seriously over-explained a lot about the spirits, which I don't find particularly interesting, such as giving them this whole holiday every 10,000 years, which is based off of the New Age harmonic convergence concept. And don't even get me started on how they turn spirits into literal energy sources. Even as a teenager, I found turning spirit energy into lasers to be demystifying. I prefer the spirits to be mystical. But those are just my thoughts. Please consider liking, subscribing, and tipping the channel on Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.